Imagine waking up tomorrow and the tap runs dry. No electricity, no pumps, no bottled water in the store. For medieval people, this wasn't a rare emergency, it was everyday life. And yet, they kept families, armies, and whole towns alive with clever, low-tech ways of making dirty water safe to drink. Today we'll uncover 12 medieval water-purifying tricks you can still use without power. Some of these methods are thousands of years old, yet science shows they still work. By the end, you'll have a survival manual hidden in plain sight. In the Middle Ages, clean water was both life and death. Wells ran foul, rivers carried disease, and wars could cut off supplies overnight. How did peasants, monks, and travelers make sure their next sip didn't kill them? They developed a toolbox of tricks: natural filters, clever containers, herbal additives, and time-tested storage. These weren't just primitive hacks, they were technologies of survival. And today we can learn from them. 1. Boiling in clay or iron pots. The most universal solution was simple: heat. Medieval kitchens always kept a pot over the fire, and water was often boiled before brewing, cooking, or drinking. Even if people didn't know about microbes, they noticed that boiled water kept sickness away. Clay pots retained heat slowly, allowing a rolling boil that killed pathogens. Iron cauldrons, found in wealthier households, sped up the process. The boiling method spread through monasteries, where monks recorded fevers dropping in towns that boiled water before drinking. Modern takeaway: in an outage, a simple campfire and pot can make even stagnant pond water safe. Just maintain a full rolling boil for at least 1 minute. In higher altitudes, go 3 minutes. 2. Charcoal filtration. Medieval charcoal wasn't just for cooking, it was a filter. Monks discovered that placing powdered or chunked charcoal at the bottom of a jug absorbed foul smells and improved taste. How it worked. The porous structure trapped bacteria and bound impurities. Some medieval texts describe sweetening water with coalstone before pouring it through linen. Modern takeaway: charcoal, even from a fireplace, can be rinsed, crushed, and layered in a container with sand and cloth to mimic today's activated carbon filters. 3. Slow sand filters. City engineers built sand-filtered cisterns in castles and monasteries. Water percolated through layers of gravel, sand, and sometimes crushed shells. The top biofilm layer, now called the schmutzstick, killed pathogens over time. Archaeological finds in medieval Spain and the Levant show stone basins lined with sand channels, designed specifically for filtration. Modern takeaway: even a bucket filled with coarse gravel at the bottom, then sand, then cloth, creates a slow but powerful purification system. Drip by drip, clear water emerges. 4. The cloth sieve. Peasants couldn't build stone cisterns, but they always had cloth. A woven linen cloth stretched across a jar, mouth-filtered silt, worm eggs, and insect larvae. Some households doubled the fabric, folding it 4 or 6 times. In Bengal, this method later became famous for filtering cholera bacterial-laden plankton out of water. Medieval Europeans may not have known why it helped, but they practiced it daily. Modern takeaway: a simple folded shirt, pillowcase, or muslin bag can act as a first defense before boiling or chemical purification. 5. Copper and bronze vessels. The wealthy stored water in bronze and copper jugs. Without realizing it, they harnessed oligodynamic effect. Copper ions slowly leach into water, killing bacteria and viruses. Medieval physicians praised the purity of water kept in red metal vessels. Studies today confirm that copper storage neutralizes E. coli within hours. Modern takeaway: if you have a copper or brass container, let water sit inside for 8 to 12 hours. It self-disinfects. 6. Herbal purifiers. Rosemary, thyme, and wormwood. Monks often flavored water with herbs, partly for taste, but herbs also killed microbes. Wormwood, rosemary, and thyme were antiseptic. Steeping these herbs created a mild infusion that purified as well as flavored. The Techinum Sanitatis, a medieval health book, recommended wormwood in foul waters before travel. Modern takeaway: adding sprigs of rosemary, thyme, or even mint to water isn't just tasty, reduces bacterial load. 7. Vinegar and wine additives. If water tasted suspicious, medieval people mixed it with wine or vinegar. The alcohol and acidity suppressed bacterial growth. Soldiers marching on campaign diluted wine into every flask. Chroniclers noted, where wine was poured, the fever did not spread. This became standard military practice. Modern takeaway. A spoon of vinegar and a liter of water creates an acidic environment bacteria struggle to survive in. Sunlight disinfection. Medieval housewives left jars of water in sunny courtyards. They noticed clearer, fresher taste. Without knowing it, they practiced solar disinfection, SODIS. UV radiation and gentle heating from sunlight kill pathogens in clear glass or clay jars. Even today, who endorses this method with PET bottles for survival situations? Modern takeaway. If you can't boil, fill a transparent bottle, leave it in strong sun for 6+ hours. 9. Sedimentation in stone basins. Castles often had stone troughs or settling tanks. Water from rain or rivers sat undisturbed, allowing mud and parasites to settle at the bottom. Clean water could then be ladled from the top. Chroniclers describe letting water rest in stone before the Lord drank. Simple, but effective. Modern takeaway. Even a bucket of dirty water becomes clearer if you let it sit 12 to 24 hours before pouring off the top. 10. Ceramic filtering pots. Some pottery was deliberately porous. In Spain and the Islamic world, al-Kharazin, glazed clay jugs filtered water slowly as it seeped through the walls. Bacteria got trapped, while evaporation cooled the contents. Medieval pilgrims carried small ceramic filters tied to belts. Modern takeaway. Unglazed terracotta jugs or clay flower pots can be improvised. Filters water slowly drips through, cleaner on the other side. 11. Silver coins and utensils. Nobles sometimes placed silver spoons or coins in water vessels. Folklore said it kept rot away. Science now confirms silver ions are antibacterial. While peasants couldn't afford silver, monasteries used silver chalices for drinking water, unintentionally reducing disease. Modern takeaway. If you have genuine silver cutlery or coins, placing them in stored water for hours has a purifying effect. 12. Beer and small ale, the ultimate water substitute. And finally, the most famous solution. Don't drink water at all, drink small beer. Brewing required boiling water, adding hops and herbs, and fermenting with yeast. The result was a low-alcohol drink that was microbiologically safe. Even children drank it daily. Records show medieval households producing 300 to 500 gallons of small ale per year. Modern takeaway. Brewing small beer or kombucha is essentially water purification through fermentation. In prolonged outages, it keeps you hydrated without sickness. So there you have it, 12 medieval tricks that still work today. From fire and clay to copper, herbs, and the humble cloth, these methods kept entire populations alive through famine, war, and plague. If you found these methods fascinating, remember, survival knowledge is timeless. The Middle Ages weren't just about knights and castles, they were a laboratory of resilience. Subscribe for more forgotten wisdom from the past. And if you want to know how medieval families heated their homes without gas or electricity, check out our next episode on 15 medieval heating hacks. Until then, stay curious, stay prepared, and keep history alive.